June 1st here. I want to again thank you for viewing all our videos, and I'm excited to see that there's so many people that are into health and concerned about their health issues. And through the next year or so, I hope to have a lot of videos up for you to view. I find it so much easier than writing books. I've got a lot of books half written, but it's so much easier to talk to you like this, and in this day and age, this is really so much better. I'm going to do a video now on fibromyalgia, lupus, Lyme, everybody's been bitten by a tick kind of crap, and chronic fatigue, which all kind of fit in there together. And then I'm going to do another one on question and answers, because I'm going to try to keep up answering your questions. I think that's important. So let's talk about fibromyalgia, lupus, Lyme's. They're all really the same thing, to tell you the truth. Different chemistry markers in the body come off and stuff, but to tell you the truth, the cause is always the same. And if you keep it simple, you will always know the causative factors of these things and always know your remedy. And that is very powerful. You know, again, we talk a lot about the difference between the mind, the intellectual, and the simplistic. The simplistic is always difficult for the mind to chew on because it's just too simple to be true. But in reality, life is simple like that. And if you keep this simple, you will realize how easy it is to cure everything and anything. The more intellectual you are, it's kind of like, I'm sure a lot of you have read a lot of books. And the more books you read, the more confused you get, because everybody's got an opinion. Well, I'm okay with opinions, but I want facts. I want truth. I want to know how it all fits. And truth fits like the fingers in a glove, you know. And so, talking about fibromyalgia, which is very common diagnosis out there, remember there's no such thing as diseases. If you'll lose that concept, you will do yourself one of the best favors there are. Because there is no such thing as diseases. These are all illusionary concepts by the medical community. Everything is chemistry and physics in motion on this planet. And we as soul just happen to take on one of these material bodies and are using it and enjoying this rock, or we're not enjoying this rock, depending on what our body's genetics dictated and the type of diets you've been on to determine what happens to those genetics. Now, you must always understand the lymphatic system. I don't care what it takes. Learn that system. It's not difficult. There's not a lot of information out there. What information's out there is more allopathically inclined, which is these guys have no clue to the lymphatic system, in my opinion. It is just a sad story that anyone would remove a lymph node. Someday maybe I'll get a crew in here and help show you some pictures of people who have had lymph nodes removed, and I couldn't save them because I couldn't get the lymph system to drain on the other side. And the way they died and suffered, these medical doctors should have went to prison for that. When we're at this level of destruction of humans, now it's getting criminal. It's bar none a serious problem. And thank God you guys have some consciousness, and you're willing to help yourselves and grow and learn, and I love you for that. That's important, and don't be afraid to teach anyone and everyone. Not everyone wants to hear the truth, that's obvious, but it's time that truth be shoved up everybody's you-know-what, including this government. So, fibromyalgia, learning the lymphatic system, that is the sewer system, the gigantic sewer system of the body. Keep in mind how simple your body is. 100 trillion cells, approximately, and 2 major fluids. We have a little break in this video because somehow the camera didn't read the card here, so forgive me. I was rattling on for about 20 minutes on this video, and it wasn't even filming, so I apologize. But let's get back to this. This is a video on fibromyalgia, lupus, Lyme's, chronic fatigue. You, again, have to understand the giant lymphatic system, the sewer system of the body. Keep in mind, again, your cells, they can't get up and go to the bathroom. Your cells, they can't get up and go to the kitchen. So they've got to be fed. They've got to be cleaned on site. Therefore, these fluids flow around all your cells. Your cells live on a river of fluids. These are interstitial fluids. And these fluids, of course, is how we feed them and how we clean them, just like we do babies here. So I don't know how much got on the other video, but I want to go down this line. It's important to understand that the body is simply 100 trillion cells and 2 major fluids. You got parasitic action, you got all that, okay. Bunch of cells and 2 major fluids. And of course, there's only 2 sides to chemistry. In understanding pain and inflammation and swelling, you must understand there's 2 fluids that control the health of the cells, and there's only 2 sides to chemistry. That's how simple this is. So don't spend a lot of time intellectually on this, because what will happen, you'll get you confused. A lot of people that get intellectual about things, they lose their ability to understand the simplicity of life. And this is true in metaphysics, and it's also true in health. If you get too intellectual about what is simplistic, then you lose reality. And so this is what's happened in the medical field. They've gotten so intellectual about things that they don't understand anything anymore. Not that they ever did, forgive me, but you know, we're in a bad situation in our health issues, and it's become one of the big financial burdens of life. And it's amazing the costs of hospitals and things, how expensive these things are, and none of it's curative. It's one thing to have a good surgeon when you need it. But now, going back to pain and swelling and inflammation, no matter where, in the joints, in the muscles, it doesn't matter where, because it's all just a bunch of cells with 2 major fluids controlling the health of those cells. And there's only 2 sides to chemistry. You got the corrosive, the aggressive, the male side of chemistry. That's the acid side of chemistry. That's like soda pop, phosphoric acid. Then you've got the female, the healing side, the base side of chemistry, or what's called alkaline side of chemistry. So understanding the nature of these 2 sides of chemistry, this planet is a predominantly base side chemistry planet. This is a female planet ran by men, basically. And that's why we have so many wars. It's so aggressive. You know, we have to temper ourselves. This is why you're seeing males and females getting more balanced in their steroids and hormones. It's good to be in the middle. When you're on one side or the other, you get out of balance too much. And so we need to find that middle road where there's more love and humility and you know, peace amongst us all. Because this is, you know, we're all here just having fun. We're here for a short time. And then we're off again onto another adventure. Now, pain in the body. This is an acid side of chemistry. Well, you know, the blood doesn't deal with acids, and you stay alive more than 3 or 4 minutes. So you know that the lymph system in the body, which makes up 2/3. All right.
You're good?
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
We have a little break in this video because somehow the camera didn't read the card here, so forgive me. I was rattling on for about 20 minutes on this video, and it wasn't even filming, so I apologize. But let's get back to this. This is a video on fibromyalgia, lupus, Lyme's, chronic fatigue. You, again, have to understand the giant lymphatic system, the sewer system of the body. Keep in mind, again, your cells, they can't get up and go to the bathroom. Your cells, they can't get up and go to the kitchen. So they've got to be fed. They've got to be cleaned on site. Therefore, these fluids flow around all your cells. Your cells live on a river of fluids. These are interstitial fluids. And these fluids, of course, is how we feed them and how we clean them, just like we do babies here. So I don't know how much got on the other video, but I want to go down this line. It's important to understand that the body is simply 100 trillion cells and 2 major fluids. You got parasitic action, you got all that, okay. Bunch of cells and 2 major fluids. And of course, there's only 2 sides to chemistry. And understanding pain and inflammation and swelling, you must understand there's two fluids that control the health of the cells, and there's only two sides to chemistry. That's how simple this is. So don't spend a lot of time intellectually on this, because what will happen, you'll get you confused. A lot of people that get intellectual about things, they lose their ability to understand the simplicity of life. And this is true in metaphysics, and it's also true in health. If you get too intellectual about what is simplistic, then you lose reality. And so this is what's happened in the medical field. They've gotten so intellectual about things that they don't understand anything anymore. Not that they ever did, forgive me, but you know, we're in a bad situation in our health issues, and it's become one of the big financial burdens of life. And it's amazing the cost of hospitals and things, how expensive these things are, and none of it's curative. It's one thing to have a good surgeon when you need it. But now, going back to pain and swelling and inflammation, no matter where, in the joints, in the muscles, it doesn't matter where, because it's all just a bunch of cells with two major fluids controlling the health of those cells. And there's only two sides to chemistry. You got the corrosive, the aggressive, the male side of chemistry. That's the acid side of chemistry. That's like soda pop, phosphoric acid. Then you've got the female, the healing side, the base side of chemistry, or what's called alkaline side of chemistry. So understanding the nature of these two sides of chemistry, this planet is a predominantly base side chemistry planet. This is a female planet ran by men, basically. And that's why we have so many wars. It's so aggressive. You know, we have to temper ourselves. This is why you're seeing males and females getting more balanced in their steroids and hormones. It's good to be in the middle. When you're on one side or the other, you get out of balance too much. And so we need to find that middle road where there's more love and humility and you know, peace amongst us all. Because this is, you know, we're all here just having fun. We're here for a short time. And then we're off again onto another adventure. Now, pain in the body. This is an acid side of chemistry. Well, you know, the blood doesn't deal with acids, and you stay alive more than 3 or 4 minutes. So you know that the lymph system in the body, which makes up 2/3 of the lymph fluids, actually 3/4. You know, 75% of the fluids that flow around your cells are the lymph fluids. Only 25% of the fluids that flow around your cells is the blood. So your body is predominantly lymph, because that's your immune system. That's your sewer system. Even the blood dumps into it what it doesn't want. You know, and again, it's a sad thing that the allopathic people do not understand the kidneys. And I'll say massage either bought into this, that your body dumps its waste back into the kitchen. We don't poop in our kitchens. You have a distinct separate sewer system in your body that deals with waste. You know, digestive waste go out the colon, but what about waste from 100 trillion cells? Head to toe, these wastes got to come out. If they don't come out, these wastes are stuck in these tissues because the filtration of the kidneys are compromised. And what we have is acidosis. We have the building up of acids, the retention of fluids, but these are acid fluids. And you start to get stiff and tight and sore, pain, swelling, and then decay of cells. Because when you're asked what causes a cancer cell or what causes an atypical cell, mostly you're going to use the word acids, and you're going to understand it's like a little baby. Those of you that have had children and you change the diaper sometimes and you see an acid burn on their bottom from the waste, from urine or stool, it's because wastes are acids. And the same thing is going on inside of you. And if you don't move these acids out for 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, let alone 1 year, and if we don't change the baby's diaper within a few hours, we see the acid burn. These are the same wastes that are inside of you. And so it's important to understand that moving your lymph system is very, very important. And that's what true detoxification is. Like I said, I'm going to do another video on detoxification so you understand it. It's an art, and help those that are asking, how do I go deeper into this world? You've already started this with fruits and vegetables, understanding from Dan the Man and a lot of these people that we've taught for years, go raw, go fruit over vegetables. There's this insanity out there that somehow fruit's bad and vegetables are good. So these people are definitely smoking something big and fat in the back room. That's never been the case. Fasting has always been universal. Keep that tummy empty sometimes. But fasting has always been universally the way all life heals itself, including the animals. You know, we don't give enough credit to the human body and its ability to heal itself. And we can't heal itself. The body heals itself. It's got that consciousness. And so we have to sometimes give it a chance. Well, fruit fits a Homo sapien body perfectly. We're frugivores. That isn't an argument you want to make, because you can't argue that we're omnivores. We have nothing like an omnivore. And you can't argue we're herbivores because we're nothing like a herbivore. We're frugivores. And that argument can be won every single time. We might have eaten omnivorish for generations, depending where we lived on the planet, but your islanders have never been that much of an omnivorish eaters, and they're the healthiest. I get islanders in here in their upper 90s and 100s all the time, and they're not, strolling in. They're walking in, briskly walking in, because they're healthy. They were raised on fruit. Just had a 96-year-old black woman in here the other day, and I couldn't believe how good that woman looked. She looked like she's 60-something, raised totally on fruit. And she's 96. She'll be 120. So unless she starts eating these cooked dead animals and all this crap that we have here in the States, or around in other countries, obviously. So, again, lupus, fibromyalgia, this is acidosis, just all location, 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 and you're going to feel it. You're going to hold water with that, and you're going to feel it. And this problem is kidneys. Kidneys are always the key. I think I commented the other day about a lady that came in and her legs were huge, so they were stripping her veins. That's because medical doctors and massage therapists believe that you poop in your kitchen, that somehow your body dumps its acid cellular waste back into the venous system. And therefore, obviously, it didn't help her. And I told her, because you're in kidney failure. And so once you get the kidneys filtering, those legs will go down. And kidney failure. And so once you get the kidneys filtering, those legs will go down and everybody's good. So important to understand that you have 3 kidneys. Remember, you're bilateral. You have 2 sides to your body. You have a right lobe on the thyroid, a right kidney, a right adrenal gland. You have a right side that's independent to the left side. You always check blood pressures both sides. You can check blood sugars both sides if you want, believe it or not. So really interesting to look at the human body in that way. The 3rd kidney, of course, is always your skin. And I don't know if I've made this comment on the first part of this video because we got disconnected here, but your skin, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, this is just acids coming out the skin because the kidneys aren't filtering, so the skin is carrying the burden. And if you have a low thyroid and you're cold, you can't sweat, sometimes you stop filtering from the skin and then you're really in trouble. And this is a very serious issue. Most medical doctors have used these insane antibiotics. And they're after the bacteria, which is the bacteria is just after your waste. And so that's been their downfall and killed a lot of people doing it, but also compromised people's ability to remove waste. And the reason is sulfa drugs. Penicillin, all these sulfa drugs, sulfur is accumulative, it accumulates in the body and it blocks lymph drainage. So some people, especially those with RA, rheumatoid arthritis, some of these with very serious inflammatory problems, have a lot of sulfur problems because they've taken antibiotics to treat what isn't treatable. You can't kill the bacteria in a septic system and expect anything but problems. And this is what's happened. We have to stop this insanity and this fear based with bacterium. Sure, there's some E. coli, but anybody dies of E. coli has to be going to medical doctors. No one ever died of E. coli going to naturopaths, at least not in this clinic. So there's some insanity out there that's unbelievable. But you must understand that we make a culturing medium. Your culturing medium is your sewer system. And so you got to clean your lymph system. And the younger you are, guys, forgive me, but the younger you are, the weaker the kidneys you have. I've got teenagers and 20-year-olds on dialysis already. We have very serious genetic weaknesses, and I've told you this before. I'm going to do a video on genetic remembering, how you can pull yourself up out of this. Stay raw, big factor. The other side, obviously, botanicals. I do use some glandulars, but I'll get into the herbs here and do a video on them to help you out with those. Now, there's the adrenal glands involved in this process, and that's where the chronic fatigue is attached to this. The adrenal glands, they sit right on top of the kidneys. They control the kidneys neurologically, and they control the gigantic autonomic nervous system. Sugar metabolism, breast shape and size, mineral utilization, B12, all this stuff comes out of the adrenal glands. Even hemoglobin hematocrit has a factor involved in the adrenal steroids, but a lot of them are used as antacids. You know, cortisol is controls sugar metabolism, but you can use these corticosteroids, obviously the medical doctors do, to fight acids, or they call anti-inflammatories. That's because they're cholesterol-based. Cholesterol is your body's main antacid. The problem is you don't want your body to start using high amounts of cholesterol, or if you're real acidic, the body will start yanking calcium out of your bones and out of your connective tissue. We've talked about that. I'm going to answer this lady's question on scoliosis here on this question and answer video I'm going to shoot. But that scoliosis is a lack of calcium utilization and the loss of calcium from fighting acids. The body has to fight acids because if acids win, you lose. Game's over. So we can't have acids win. That's why your body's always in defense of acidosis. And the inflammatory response is part of that response to that issue. Because if acids win, cells get damaged and mutate. And then in time, you die. So real important to understand that you got to keep these acids moving from cells out to the outside world. So the adrenal glands, the neurotransmitter portion, your adrenals produce two substances, neurotransmitters. That's your epinephrine, that's your adrenaline, dopamines. This is all the control of the autonomic nervous system, norepinephrine. Without those, you're looking at Lou Gehrig's MS, you're looking at the neurological problems, you're looking at ADD, ADHD, you're looking at all these. It's not just a central nervous system problem, it's an autonomic nervous system problem. It lowers your blood pressure, it makes you tired, neurological fatigue. When you eat a piece of meat, it's full of epinephrine, people feel better. Yeah, it's epinephrine. And in the long run, just like taking steroids, you'll lose your adrenal glands. I'll address this lady in the digestive enzymes too. You can't take these things and expect your body to keep making them. You get yourself in real trouble by doing these things. You got to make your cells healthy. It's all about the cells. What's your adrenal glands made of? A bunch of cells, and there's two fluids that control the health of the cells. Same thing with the thyroid. What's your thyroid made from? What's your ovaries made from? What's your prostate made from? Someone wrote some prostatitis. I'll address it in another video. Same thing. Two fluids, blood, lymph. The lymph deals with the acid side of chemistry. So fibromyalgia, Lyme's, lupus, all of this, forget bacteria. Quit taking antibiotics. You have already done that. No, it doesn't work. You're compromising your system more. Move your lymphatic system. And to do that is to fix those kidneys. The best foods to move the lymph system is the fruit. You can see the difference between the Hippocrates and their effectiveness on cancer and our effectiveness on cancer. And cancer is not a disease, throw that away. It is a clogged lymph system, not filtering through the kidneys. And so you can see the difference between what you can do with a tumor on vegetables and what you can do on fruits. Fruits will move a tumor out of your body 100 times faster than a vegetable will, by far. They have far greater astringents, antioxidants. They're much more powerful energetically. They're about 4,000 angstroms higher in magnetics. Never do you see vegetable fasting in the past. Water fasting has always been universally the most accepted way of detoxing the body. Like I said, keep a little hunger in that belly. Don't always have to be full all the time. Give your body a chance to take some energy and fix itself. Don't have all your energy always digesting your foods. Then you can't get well from that. Animals, they sit around and relax. Don't go try to run off and make your lymph system work through exercise. It can make you worse. When you exercise, you're creating lactic acid. It's okay to create an acid if what? That's right. You've got to be able to remove that acid. We got a lot of pro athletes that come here and they're hurting because they have kidney and adrenal weakness. And if you have kidney and adrenal weakness and you're creating a lot of acids, additional acids, and you're not moving them out, you're going to hurt worse. Then you can't do that. So relax. Have some fun with this. You always use herbs to get the kidneys filtering. You can use herbs for the adrenal glands. You use herbs to move the lymph system. Funny how the herbs that move the lymph system are the cancer herbs, isn't it? So, and you use astringents. Always use high fruit diets. I recommend fruit all day long with a vegetable meal at night, particularly a salad. If you want some steamed vegetables, okay, but if you're serious about moving lymph, get much higher up on the fruit side. Fast 10, 20, 30, 40 days on grapes. Great way to eliminate tumors, a great way to clean the lymph system aggressively. Then you got the Stanley Burroughs Lemon Juice Master Cleanser Fast. Lemon's very powerful. Been way beyond him making that. That's an old fast from way back. So these are real strong fasts. Remember I told you I lived on oranges for 6 months. Very powerful cleansing factor. High nutritive too. A lot Lemon's very powerful. Been way beyond him making that. That's an old fast from way back. So these are real strong fasts. Remember I told you I lived on oranges for 6 months. Very powerful cleansing factor. High nutritive too. A lot of people don't realize the nutrition is in the fruits and berries and melons. You know, grass is only so nutritive, but berries packed with nutrition. Fruit packed with nutrition as long as we grow them properly and pick them right. This picking green fruit is ridiculous. I don't know. This country has lost its ability to love, its ability to feed the people right. I mean, we've got to kick these politicians out of here and put somebody in there that has some common sense. I'm sure most of you are fed up of politicians, so obviously you can see I'm part of a Tea Party movement to get this country back into the Constitution, but also back to love and joy and happiness, or we're going down. You know, we're going to have a revolution here if they're not careful. You can only push people so far, you know. Anyway, fibromyalgia, forgive me. I'm a little passionate about some things, you know. But very curable. All these things are curable. Throw the disease out. Understand this is acidosis. Location, location, location. Move your lymph. Get your adrenal glands producing more neurotransmitters and steroids. And this will help to the inflammatory processes. But until you move your lymph, and kidneys and adrenals are the key factors in stagnant lymph system. Now, acids dehydrate the body and create an anionic environment, and I did videos on these. So keep going back and touching, understanding anionic, which is a dehydrated, it is a drying feeling, it makes fluids thicker. If you ever hawked up a big, nasty, thick wad of mucus, that's because it's acidic. And so we've got to get this body more alkaline. And then you will start the cationic process of moving that lymph a lot better. Drinking water isn't the answer either, so don't over drink water, especially those of you that are very acidic, or you'll bloat up like a Christmas tree. Fruits and vegetables are full of water. So you can't properly rehydrate the body until you move interstitially around the cells the stagnant lymph fluids. And that's very important. This will move out the acids, the pain will go away, any mutation of the skeletal system will go away, will correct itself, scoliosis will pull itself straight, and this is true in every condition you can name. But I don't want you to tell too many people because it's too simple for the average person to understand. Actually, I would like you to tell everybody, but you know, keep it simple. It's simple when you explain it in common terms, and then you can understand it, and then you can do something about it, because my goal is to empower you spiritually and empower you physically to build a healthy body, and then you'll have a good life and have some fun, and that's what's really the key here on this rock spinning through space. So thank you for that. I hope I've addressed that good enough. We'll get deeper into what herbs you use, but always use, don't be afraid of herbs. use 2 kidney formulas I would initially, get into the adrenal glands and get them up. You use a couple of lymphatic herbs. I like GI tract herbs. I made some good stomach and bowel formulas, not laxative. Don't use laxative. Somebody lady gave me an herbal formula here I don't like very well, turkey rhubarb and stuff. That's a laxative. That's a purgative. We don't have to purge the body aggressively. You just simply get it moving nice and gently, heal tissue, get these acids out of the body, and there isn't anything you can't cure. I don't care what you're listening here with. There's nothing you can't cure, and don't let anybody tell you that. Just because half the medical, I'll say all the medical profession, they're not about curing. So remember that. You're going to doctors that have no clue about curing. So go to people that know how to cure. And to learn yourself, it's real simple. That's why I'm doing these videos. So I appreciate your listening. I'm going to shoot another one after this one on question and answers. This is June 1st, 2011. And I'll try to answer all your questions in a timely manner. I know a lot of you are hurting, and I'll help you ASAP.